Hey, just an afterthought. So I'll probably dump this on the beginning of the video. Uh, anyways, um, this is my cool down, so I figured I'd just get this in now before I forget about it again. With ADHD, good thing to start with is routine. I said exercise in the video, but I'm going to say it again. Routine, exercise, physical activity. When you're doing things, physical activity like build stuff, fishing, that kind of stuff, like something tangible that when they're doing it, there's a result in the end that they actually have. Not sit in front of a computer, because that's just going to give them crappy dopamine hits, and then they're going to just rely on the computer, and they'll never experience other things. You need to learn to get the dopamine hits that they need out of the stuff that they do, the productive stuff. And like a uniform kind of thing is a little harder when they're kids, but clothes that are close enough together so there's not much thought to how it goes together, right? Roughly same style, same whatever shirts, same style, same whatever pants, that kind of thing. Put them out the night before. Sounds corny, but it makes the morning so much easier. Less distractions. If whatever routine you need in the morning, have it kind of almost preset the night before if you can, because that'll definitely make a huge difference. I eat pretty much the same food every morning as much as I can. And that way it's just the same routine every morning. Boom, 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 with me and Catherine. Short of that, set the uniform thing with the clothes. Routine. I'll let the rest of the video take it. Have a good one, guys. Okay, this is definitely not the most opportune video, but hey, what the heck? I'm in warm up. Just warming up on the treadmill a bit. Anyways. Sorry. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about ADHD, and it's annoying me. They've all labeled it as, and granted, the doctors are, they label it as a disability. It's not a disability. If you work with it, if you understand it, work with it, it's an awesome, amazing advantage. I'm medicated now for ADHD, and I regret it, and I'm going to start with my doctor's help. I'm working off of it, or I will be. But so I've been on both sides. Most of my adult life, my childhood and adult life, I was not medicated. Tail end the last few years, I have been. So I can tell you a little bit about both experiences. And I have been on multiple different meds along the ways. So here we go. If you work with your ADHD, that's the way the brain is meant to be. People without ADHD are actually the ones that are not, I won't say that, but okay. With ADHD, if you look back in time, when you actually had to struggle to survive, when you had to hunt and all that kind of crap, ADHD, what do you think kept people alive, right? Military, people that thrive in the military, ADHD. High-end executives, people that run their own businesses. You know who you are, ADHD. As soon as you medicate it, you're screwing with the way the brain works. And I'll tell you, it's the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Your brain is meant to work a certain way. When you start dumping and trying to limit the ADHD, it screws you up. I'm not saying don't use meds. I'm saying don't try to medicate it out. Don't sit in front of computers 24/7. Right? Exercise. I'm trying to get back at it. Again, see, now this is the thing. Medicine, health issues have screwed me up. When I was going, right, my issues have nothing to do with the ADHD. My disability, everything else has nothing to do with the ADHD. It was a lot of other things. When I was younger, I managed, before my accident, I was running a glass shop. I had a staff member underneath me. Initially it was just me. Then I just managed to get the business up and going enough. I had a second staff member underneath me. The only thing that really hurt that one was a franchise issue with the owners, but that's out of my control. As far as the shop goes, I ran that shop and I did good in that shop. Before that, I worked in oil and gas. I worked in an oil shop, whatever. And they hired me pushing broom. And I managed to show them I could run equipment. I was running a 10-ton forklift. Unofficially, I ran the 20-ton crane. I worked with grinders. The amount of jobs I did with that company were incredible. I almost wish I could have stayed. Well, I do. I wish I could have stayed. Anyways, so we done that. Then after my accident, to be honest with you, there's a few people in my life that actually saved my butt after that accident. But part of what saved my butt was the ADHD. I couldn't sit still. And then I had individuals that were dragging me out, making me do stuff, and working with me. So again, the ADHD benefited me. When I finally got in, I'm going to skip a few steps. When I finally got into jail, trust me, ADHD saves your butt in that environment. That was probably one of the only good things I had going for me in that place. After that, when I left the jail and went to the courthouse, the position I held in the courthouse, ADHD again, the benefits of multitasking, being able to do everything like that, awesome. Benefited me huge. The one thing is, people when you hyper focus, don't get in the way. So you got to learn you have to learn how to work with it. You have to learn, and everything else. The biggest problem I have now is the meds. Screw that up. Don't get me wrong, there's other things wrong with me, so there it goes there too. But if you got a kid that's got ADHD, maybe, I'm not saying don't med, a little bit of meds, take the edge off until you teach them to be able to work with it. Don't let them sit in front of the stupid computer when they come home. Get them outside, get them in the basement, get them in their room working out, whatever. Computer games, what they're looking for is that dopamine. So if you teach them to sit in front of a computer and play games, that's all they're going to know. But if you provoke them to get out and do things, they're going to learn stuff, man. Growing up with my ADHD, and I didn't know it back then, but even today, I learned vehicles, I learned construction, electrical, plumbing. I've learned, it's been a long time, I don't want to say I know it, but I've learned how to weld at one point. I know mechanical, I know vehicles, not well anymore because there's a lot of electrical stuff that I have not dipped into, but I do know the mechanical end of things. So I've gotten into radio. learned a lot about radio over the years. I know enough about a lot of things to be dangerous. This is what I like to say. But that's the advantage of ADHD. It enables me to dip into different things when I can train it. When I was learning amateur radio, I was working in the courthouse, and I wanted to learn amateur radio. So I hyper focused on it. Man, my breaks, I was watching videos, reading books on amateur radio. I was running practice tests every chance I got. When I came home, I'd watch videos. I'd have them in the background when I was just doing stuff. The ADHD is not a chemical imbalance. It is a way the brain is supposed to work, but society doesn't want to work with it anymore. They want you to be a good little boy and girl, sit in front of the computer, and do what you're told. They don't want you to take advantage of stuff like that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they've forgotten, they don't understand it, or if they're trying to medicate you to take advantage of it. I don't know. I'm going to shut up about that. I couldn't tell you. What I am telling you is that stop looking at ADHD as a disability. It is not a disability. It is not a chemical imbalance. There are ways to work with it. When you do your research, the problem is you're always going to hear a lot of these people talking about it being a chemical imbalance. Now overlook all that crap. Look at the tricks of the trade to deal with it. There's going to be some things that annoy the living poop out of you. Like the piles of junk around your house in corners. Bags. I try to keep things in bags now, but I still have piles. I have one underneath the kitchen table in my corner. I have one in the living room. I try to keep them in some kind of a container. The doom piles or whatever, I can't remember. Somebody called them something, and it was actually kind of funny, and it kind of makes sense. And that stuff under the kitchen table, generally stuff that I want to carry with me in the vehicle or outside at times. So it's there because that's usually, I'll sit down for breakfast with Catherine, grab my stuff and go. So it's all there. And I decide at that point what I want. Stuff in the living room. Some of my handheld radios. I've got a thing of boot polish and stuff there. Because the problem is that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I won't think about it. So if I want to remember to, polish my boots and treat my leather stuff and whatever, I got to have it somewhere where I see it. So it annoys the crap out of me so I get to it. There are some disadvantages, being overwhelmed, but that is real. I got to learn to work with it. When you're raising a kid, or if you got a spouse with ADHD, certain things are going to annoy the crap out of you. And that's just a fact of life. You learn to deal with it, work with them, and they're going to try to work with you. I try to keep, I don't do a good job, but I try to keep my doom piles, or whatever you want to call them, I try to keep them, under the table and off to the corner. In the living room, try to keep it contained into the one corner. It's not a perfect answer, but at least it's a little bit of sight. I try to, stay on top of other projects. And try not to get too focused on one thing, which I still do. But again, my problem right now especially is I'm fighting the ADHD, my other issues, and the meds. And the meds are the worst freaking thing possible. I'm sorry, but they are. You're trying to, the brain is working a certain way, and it's meant to. Your ADHD is meant to be there. When you dump meds on that, you're putting a fog in the kid's brain, and the guy's brain, and the girl's brain, whoever. You're making a foggy spot, and you don't want that. So stop looking at it as a disability. Stop trying to throw meds at it. or just throw meds at it. A little bit of meds, a little bit of management, and a lot of learning. Find things that interest and balance out what you have to do versus your interests. I freely admit it's hard as hell, but you'll get there. It won't be perfect, but you'll get there. I've been hyper-focused on this for a while. I've been trying to figure out a way to say it, and I'm hoping I've said it somewhat decent. Just do me a favor and stop treating it as a disability and start taking advantage of it. Learn how to use it. And you'll see the benefits throughout your whole life. You'll learn how to use that ADHD instead of medicate it and drown it out. So, anyways, it's been about 13 minutes or 14 minutes. I need to step up my speed and everything else, and I'm not going to be able to talk for a bit. So, cheers. God bless. Sorry for the shakiness.